Road racing is unlike any other sport where most of the people that you see doing it actually have to pay to do it. This is in direct contrast to sports like football or baseball or hockey, where if you are really good at doing your sport, you can get drafted or get signed and play professionally, and you are paid just to show up and be on the field and play based on your skill. But the costs of racing and the associated revenues are so vastly different than those sports, especially when it comes to spectators and media deals, where there really isn't that much money to go around to just pay people to drive. And there are so many people that are interested in driving that the talent pool is very deep. So this may seem pretty obvious to most of you that a Spec Miata racer or Spec 3 driver or someone running in EP and SCCA is an amateur and has to pay for everything, and nothing that they win or get from sponsors is going to offset this cost. But where people get a little confused is when they start to look at the more serious or expensive or fancy race series such as Mustang Challenge, VP Challenge, MX5 Cup with IMSA, or in Canada, the Sentra Cup, where there are factory-backed, factory-supported, bespoke, purpose-built race cars with huge million-dollar haulers and a full spectator season and maybe even TV coverage. Most of those people are paying out of pocket to be there, and it's just for fun, or they're trying to pay their way through to try to get experience or get eyes on them to hopefully pick up sponsors to help offset costs for that next level up. In Formula 2, it's something like $1.5 million you have to pay to race. Some of that's covered by sponsors for some drivers, and some are footing the bill themselves. Some racers may earn money from winning. Some racers may cover their costs with sponsorships, but for the most part, 99% of racers are not actually being paid by a team to drive the car. Now, at these levels, you may see some teams that are competing to win and willing to pay a racer. Something like Trans Am, there are some teams that pay a pro to help them win. And a really good example of this is something like a top-tier WRL team or an IMSA team, where their business model is to sell the seat and the racing experience to people that have the money to pay for it. And they may have a quote-unquote pro driver on the payroll that will help coach the driver that's footing the bill and paying the team to be there and set the car up for them. And that pro is expected to help with car development, car setup, and to be kind of like a customer relation person for that driver. But the important thing to remember there is that pro is not there to win races for them. That pro is there so that somebody is compelled or feels it is worth the money to pay to have that amateur seat and to fund the team. So at the end of the day, the racing still has to be paid for by somebody, and it's not an actual business venture that will make you money by going out and winning races and paying a driver to race. That pro driver is an expense to get the customers that will pay for the racing. The only real exception is when you look at the very top level of motorsports like IndyCar, Formula 1, top level NASCAR, where some of those drivers do have pure talent that causes a team to want to pay for them to drive the car, regardless of how much money they bring to the table. And that is very, very rare. One very interesting thing that you'll hear from time to time when you talk to people involved in the pro motorsports world is that it's really not all that different from any kind of competitive regional racing. So if you go to a SCCA Super Tour or the NASA Championships, you'll see a level of talent that is pretty applicable and could honestly do pretty well in some of these quote-unquote pro levels. The difference is just the money and the sponsorship capability of the drivers. The people at the top level, especially Formula 1 or winners in IndyCar or top level NASCAR, they are extremely talented. And those are the people that would dominate at the regional club racing level for sure. But it's not a astronomical difference of a Tom Brady versus a regular high school quarterback. So hopefully this has been helpful for some people to understand the differences between pro and amateur racing and to help understand that the line between those two is very, very blurry and very vague. And to understand that at any given weekend, you may be surrounded by talent that could do well at the pro level, but there's other reasons why they can't. and money is usually a big factor of that. And also when you're watching on TV, sometimes some of these lower feeder series or support series, those people are just normal people that have the money and dedication and ability to fund their racing at a quote unquote higher level. So if you are a talented driver, also be thinking about how you can try to market yourself and how you can get connected with people and how you can help in other ways to offset costs. And maybe you will have a shot, but it's not like being a really good singer or being a talented quarterback where if you're just good, you just have to show it and you'll get paid. Racing is a lot more difficult. Thanks for watching, and I hope you check out some of my other videos talking about racing rules and principles and theories, and also explanations on the Spec 3 Racing series.